were African Americans during World War II deferred the opportunity some as their white counterparts? So I believe yes. The American dream was deferred from African Americans during World War II. While the war brought economic opportunities, increasing social mobility for other Americans, African Americans faced significant discrimination and segregation both in the military and at home. On the military front, African American soldiers were often assigned segregated units and faced limited opportunity for advancement. They were subjected to racial discrimination, violence both within the military and within from other civilians. And despite their contributions to the war effort, African American soldiers were often denied recognition and were excluded from receiving the same benefits and opportunities from their white counterparts. While still being a very important part in playing their role in the war, there were many black battalions that had their key roles in fighting off enemy lines. So at home, on the front, African Americans faced discrimination in employment, housing, and education. Industries and unions excluded African Americans from well-paying jobs, and they were often regulated to low-wage work. Housing segregation was very common also during this time. African Americans were being denied access to certain neighborhoods and facing limiting housing options. And African American children had to attend segregated and underfunded schools from the government, further limiting their opportunity for upward mobility. And then a quote from the book and from Matthew Delmont. It says about the blacks' inclusion in World War II. It was Pearl Harbor. Hundreds of black volunteers were turned away from the military recruiters. In a nation mobilized for war, African Americans first had to fight the right to serve in the military. Ultimately, over 1 million black men and women served in World War II. This just shows that African Americans were willing to give their lives to fight for this country and just to have the opportunity to live here and have the American dream. So following the war, we saw the double V, the victory on two fronts. So the win of World War II, defeating the Axis powers in Germany, Japan, and Italy. And then win here at home as we saw social change, social reform. And America was challenged with dealing more and more prejudice as the war ended, and more pressure was being put on them to come together and have social reform. Overall, the American dream for equality, opportunity, and upward mobility was deferred for many African Americans during and after World War II due to systematic racism and discrimination. It was not until the civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s that we saw significant change and progress towards these barriers and advancing civil rights for African Americans. And social leaders, we didn't see this till social leaders such as Martin Luther King and Malcolm X led movements through social change, and we're still in this day trying to fix what we have created through racism and discrimination.